I wanted to show you this one. This is a pretty big plant. A lot of people will identify this as Corncob cactus, and it would be kind of right, because this is the same kind of hybrid. This is a hybrid between Trichocereus telegonus and Echinopsis irisi grandiflora. You can see the Echinopsis spines, but it also has the reddish spines of Thelegonus at the tip, which is a rare trait. You don't see that very often on other species, on other Trichocereus species or hybrids. This is a trait that often comes from Thelegonus. When I see reddish spines at the apex, I often this is the first gut feeling that I get when I see these reddish spines. And yeah, the corncob cactus, it's a type of Thelegonus hybrid, or different hybrids under the same name. It's not a botanical species. It's a nursery produced specimen, maybe also a Trichocereus imperialis hybrid, which has Thelegonus in it too. But yeah, not sure. A lot of them look the same. If you make a cross now between Thelegonus and any kind of Echinopsis, grow the offspring and it will look similar. Not all look the same, but I want to show you one that I've grown. There you go. Reddish spines at the apex, at the tip. And yeah, you see these strong notches on these areoles from Thelegonus. Echinopsis spines, once again, these are two entirely different hybrids. But if you would put them aside, people would identify this as the same clone. Would call it Brevispinulosus and be done with it. But it's not so easy. I've had arguments about Brevispinulosus, and it's because that name is so well known and popular, because it has been around for so long. But it's not a botanical species. And I even have no problem to keep the name Brevispinulosus attached, because a lot of people like it, and I like it too, kinda. I grew up with it in the community and all. But you need to always keep Thelegonus in your head when you look at these plants. This is another one. This is a Thelegonus hybrid called Papagei. Large, white, freaky flowers, similar to Papageno, Papagena. And yeah, same reddish spines at the tip, same Echinopsis spines. So there's a pattern here. And there's a mica in the greenhouse. There's a pattern, guys. So some of them have notches, some of them do not have notches. And that is because there's also a group of hybrids, a very similar group of hybrids called Trichocereus imperialis. These came from another breeder, maybe 70s, 60s, maybe even earlier. Back there, there's an imperialis hybrid. This one. You can see the notches from here. I don't reach back there because I haven't moved the plants out yet. But you can also see reddish spines at the tip. Pattern. So here's Thelegonus, and you can see the new spine growth where it has these blackish tips, a little bit reddish, but it really comes through in the next generation. Now I've been looking for my Imperialis, for my other Imperialis that keeps flowering every year, but I can't find it right now. I will. Yeah, I cannot find it right now. That's crazy. It's such a slender. What's this? This is a Hildewinterer hybrid. Also a little bit similar, but the flowers are different. And you can see that there must be Echinopsis in there too. The Echinopsis just brings in these spines. If you see such stump spines, it's usually from Echinopsis or something comparable. Another chance here. Well, basically, Imperialis is a very similar plant, almost identical, but it has no these strong ridges below the areoles that you see on the Thelegona hybrids. You don't see them on these. I found another Imperialis. This is not the one that I wanted to show you, but another cross from a different breeder. But it is similar. You can see the spines, the Echinopsis spines, the spine color from Thelegonus just comes through. Yeah, and here's the rib shape, a little bit different, not so thin, not so slender, like the Theleflora hybrids, for example, or the other Imperialis hybrid that I have. It basically is a group of hybrids that are all merged into one name, because you would have to analyze every single plant to know the genetic situation. Then there are a bunch of mislabeled plants. For example, Theleflora, the one that I showed you at the beginning. Yeah, this one. So there's also another hybrid called Madame Pompadour, which is another similar hybrid, and that one is sold as Theleflora very often. And since that one is more expensive than Theleflora, it's actually not a bad thing. But there are different versions of Theleflora too. This one is the original hybrid, described and made by Robert Gräser in the 50s maybe. And there are more. These plants were just used for breeding afterwards, and lots of follow-up hybrids. Betty Boom, very similar type of hybrid, and also with Thelegonus, you can just see it, and the flower is so big. Thelegonus is a species that has very big flowers, and it is great for hybrid breeding. That's why so many are around, because so many breeders use them. Here's something similar, also short spines. You see this everywhere. These short stump spines are usually coming from Echinopsis irisi grandiflora, and that is not Trichocereus grandiflora, Trichocereus grandiflorus. That's a small Echinopsis that was just heavily used in hybrid breeding in the beginning. Here's another Imperialis. This one, the big one. Kind of different body than the more slender ones that show Theleflora hybrids. In this one, I am pretty sure that Trichocereus purpureopilosus was involved too. But yeah, I'm not sure at this point. Large plants with these hybrid genetics, you never know what's in the family tree. When you get something, very hard to keep a close eye on all the different crosses that are out there. It is easy to recognize the type of hybrid that it is, but it's a totally different story to look at something and know, alright, this is this hybrid with these parents and all. It's getting more difficult every day because there are so many follow-up hybrids. Grandiflora was moved around between Lobivia and other species, so it has a long history of being used early in the hybrid breeding community, mostly by Gräser. Robert Gräser was really a good breeder. The guy made Gräsers Schönste, fantastic ruffled flowers that are very unheard of in that genus Trichocereus, apart from maybe ruffled candicans in nature. There are a few ruffled candicans, there are a few ruffled strigosus, not hybrids, but forms, natural forms. But yeah, that was like in the 50s or in the 60s. Unfortunately, he's no longer here. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, this was my beginning of the season video on Theleflora and Brevispinulosus too. I had one seed grown, but the flower was so small that I sorted it out at some point. I should have kept it for the videos, but at that point I did not think I would do videos like that, you know. It's just happened organically over the years, and So yeah, but Brevispinulosus, the way I've seen it, it has no strong ridges, and that leads towards it being more like Trichocereus imperialis hybrids maybe. But again, who knows? I don't have a strong opinion on the subject. I just wanted to show you what's out there, and I'm choosing my words carefully because a lot of people are very attached to the name Brevispinulosus, and I have nothing against it. Keep it. I mean, I would keep it on my labels too. But it is definitely a hybrid with something, because it's not a species from nature. It hasn't been recorded from nature. And but what has been recorded are a multitude of hybrids with Trichocereus, Thelegonus, and Echinopsis. This is a great combination. It's been heavily used, and yeah, the offspring often has a large flower, colored flower, and beautiful body. I started sowing out a lot of Thelegonus hybrids these days because of this, and yeah. Later in summer, when the plants are in full growth and maybe even in bloom, when they are flowering, I will do another video about Theleflora, Brevispinulosus. Maybe I can get a few more clips of Brevispinulosus by friends. If you see this, have clips of Brevispinulosus, send it over. We will be comparing it. We will be comparing it to Imperialis. And yeah, again, Imperialis hybrids from the 60s, 70s. I think American, which would make sense if these turned into Brevispinulosus later, when, for example, a nursery had some produced seeds and wasn't sure what it is and just put a name on it. I don't know. I don't want to know. This whole like hybrid history. There's so much chaos, and it's not my job to clean up the chaos. I just try to show you what's going on and what is available under what names, and everything else, you know. The name doesn't matter. The plants are there. The plants are amazing, and everything else doesn't matter. I mean, so yeah, that is the video on Thelegonus hybrids and such. We will do another one when the plants are in full growth. But right now, this is a nice start. I hope you liked it.